Thank you for joining the Warfighter Health track today for the Tradewin Members Showcase Navy Edition and our Overflow event. Today we'll have Steve Vincent from TIAG. So let's get started. Steve, over to you.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, Krista. Appreciate the opportunity to talk to everybody and tell you a little bit about the Warrior Performance Platform. The presentation today, I'm Steve Vincent, a retired Navy Surface Warfare Officer. I'm with TIAG, very experienced in Defense Health Agency, working with significant clinical data, workloads, challenges, etc. We're partnered with Coach Me Plus. They are a leader in the commercial athlete management system and working in professional sports and NCAA for many years. I would normally be joined by one of my colleagues from Coach Me Plus. They're actually executing on an Army project that I'll talk about here in a moment. So I think this is straightforward. We know what the challenge is. I just want to focus you, the audience, on what I'm going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about technology that can help with human performance management, reducing injuries, increasing readiness, helping people recover from injuries. And this is all based on proven technology in the commercial space. What we really have as an opportunity is that connected fitness experience. So mobile apps, wearable devices, data that's being presented to SMEs, data that's being integrated from different sources. And as I walk you through this, I'll walk you through more platform details in a moment, but at a high level, what we're going to be talking about is a data integration platform that allows organizations to make data-driven decisions, that provides actionable content down to the individual user, but aggregates that in a way that allows SMEs and leaders to have visibility on information and make better decisions. So let me focus on the bottom line up front. I'm going to walk you through the capability, but really what I'm presenting to this group is an opportunity to have a data funnel, if you will. So I'm going to show you where this is in use across DoD, including Navy, where the application, the mobile application, is in the hands of end users, in the hands of subject matter experts, and connecting them to allow data to flow. There's an opportunity to do much more with that data. It can be, there are algorithms that are built into the product that we will touch on, but the opportunity to take that data and easily export it for third-party tool analysis to now feed actionable, focused, hyper-personalized feedback back to that end user. That's what we see the opportunity as. To talk a little bit about wearables, and again, there's an enormous universe of wearables, everything from the personal wearables to things that you'll find in a physical therapist environment, etc. The commercial product integrates with 60 plus of these out of the box. So it potentially allow the individual with their own personal wearables to have that data integrated, wearables that are assigned, data collection platforms that might be fixed in a facility. All of that data can be integrated. The key thing on wearables to us is that they're going to evolve, that we don't focus on the specific hardware. We focus on the data, and the data is going to continue to come in a variety of formats and form factors used to collect it. So as DoD looks at being able to use data for warfighter health, this is a product that avoids locking on a particular hardware set and allows that data to come in. And then what we've seen in the commercial setting is that many times the same type of data is collected from different sensors, and it comes in, and there's some variety to that. So what do you do with that? Does that create complications? Does that create more fidelity that sophisticated algorithms can allow you to do something with? Let me walk through the product real quick. So the mobile application is designed to be something that is in the end user's hand, that individual sailor, to allow them to receive content, to enter data, subjective and objective data, and have that flow into a collection system where your subject matter experts, your practitioners, can now see the data that's relevant to them, focus on that data, and interact with the end user through the platform. And I'm going through this fairly quickly, but I just want to give you the sense of what the product is and what the art of the possible is when it comes to AI ML. And that's really what we're looking at here. All of this on the left-hand side of the slide is current state, in use, in DoD, in the commercial sector now. The art of the possible is that right side, taking that data and doing something more with it than we currently do in the platform, whether that's adding capability to the platform or whether that's exporting that data for analysis by third-party tools. So I want to walk through a couple practical DoD examples that show how the product is being used today. So the Army is focused on a major population health effort called the Holistic Health and Fitness Program. And this is an Army-wide approach that is being implemented now and falls under the DoD Total Force Fitness umbrella. But Army focuses on 5 domains, and they acknowledge that the physical readiness domain is the one we're most familiar with and pretty straightforward, but it is just one of what the Army views as 5 essential domains that you can see on the slide. So let me show you how the product supports each of those domains, and this is relevant across DoD. But for physical fitness, that workout builder, that delivering content that's relevant, so an Army individual is getting ACFT information, a Navy member is getting Navy PRT information. So based on their parameters, what is it that they need to do? What is it that they need to do to get back on track? How can somebody assign, how can a supervisor assign workouts to them? Or maybe it's as simple as compliance and monitoring participation and showing up. And this becomes particularly useful in distributed populations. What people often forget is even for the active duty component, probably about 30% of it is geographically distributed. When you think about all of the small organizations, the recruiters, everybody that is geographically distributed across the United States who don't have that opportunity to look a supervisor in the eye at morning formation. Focusing on nutrition, we'll talk a little bit more about this, but this is, there is DoD specific nutrition content that was developed as part of a Navy funded SBIR that came out of Naval Supply Systems Command. We'll talk more about that, but being able to scan barcodes, being able to have a MyFitnessPal like experience, or if someone uses MyFitnessPal already, being able to integrate that data in so we don't force them to change something. We want to focus on the behavior change in the data, but not force them to use a different form factor. Monitoring sleep, whether it be subjective, whether it be objective with wearables. That cognitive, that mental, what information can be pushed, what subjective information can be gathered by the individual, and as objective wearables become more sophisticated, integrating that information in. In spiritual, I like the way the Army Chief of Chaplains describes spiritual as he described it as it's not religious, it's about making that person, that individual feel connected to a larger team, to a larger organization. So how do you reinforce that? How do you create the pathways for connecting and participating and feeling valued? And all of this is then the data is there can be massive amounts of data, but to make that actionable and relevant for SMEs, being able to tee that up. And again, here's where we see an opportunity for improvement with artificial intelligence tools to do some automated analysis on the data that's coming in, to create better alerts for SMEs, to create recommended workflows, to create recommended pathways, to potentially automatically tee those up to that end user based on the data and the inputs. Let me take a step back and talk a little bit about the Navy past performance. So we have completed phase 1, phase 2 SBIRs with Navy. These were funded by Naval Supply Systems Command. The aspirational goal was to have a mobile application that would be useful in a shore environment and have that profile follow the sailor to a shipboard environment where it could work disconnected offline for extended periods of time. So we have created prototypes for use in a shipboard environment. There has been no further development on that because, again, it was an aspirational NAVSUP goal. But that opportunity is there, and the SBIR allows for continued work in that area. What has moved forward is that commercial experience in a shore environment. And we'll talk more about that with the delayed entry program. So one of the projects that was run by Naval Health Research Center out of San Diego was taking that legacy delayed entry program experience where sailors, future sailors, would show up and have a face-to-face, maybe once a month, hit or miss with a recruiter, run them around the field, do some sit-ups, push-ups, take our stubby pencils out and write stuff on forms, transfer it to an Excel file, which may or may not go anywhere beyond the desk of that particular recruiter. So the project was to take those future sailors, deploy the mobile app to their phone, integrate with whatever wearables they used, Fitbit, Garmin, Apple Health Kit, you name it, and now have that data available to the recruiters, be able to push content and start to shape what the individuals knew about the Navy, knew about physical fitness and nutrition and sleep and just general Navy knowledge to better prepare them for success at boot camp. And this really allowed the recruiters to focus on the people that needed help. At a very simple level, it could be checking participation, but you could also see who was making progress, who did we need to focus on, and there was the data persists with the sailor. So if there is an unplanned loss of a recruiter or a PCS of a recruiter, that data is available. Leaders could see who was doing what. So this is just kind of a quick overview of some of the pilot activity touch points. Again, I'm going through these very quickly because I know the recording will be available, but the dashboards could be available to the recruiter. And again, even something as simple as a dashboard for compliance so that they know who do I need to focus on rather than reach out in a phone call or an email and say, did you do it? I'm going to talk about what we've done with the Air Force. So this was a pilot that was focused on, it had two avenues. It had Air Force health promotion and then also Air Force Reserve, Air National Guard, focused on high demand, low density reservists, tactical air control party folks who needed to maintain physical fitness standards, but had much less access to facilities, very little in-person time with leaders. And interestingly enough, this pilot kicked off right about the time that COVID lockdown started. And yet, because of the format of the engagement, really nothing slowed down. We were able to connect with the individuals, get their data from their wearables, get the data from their subjective questionnaires, and provide that to leaders who could then feedback, see who was making progress, who wasn't, who needed help, who needed an intervention. And again, we think all of that can be improved with automation. So the whole idea is have that data persist across the life cycle. And at different points, people might require greater levels of intervention, automation, and so forth. And again, all of this can be improved with artificial intelligence, taking the data, teeing up recommended workflows, do an analysis, flagging those things that an SME does need to look at and have a human interaction. So that is kind of the high level of the project, of the product. And I want to play a video that will take 3 minutes. So I feel confident we can get this in to give you a better sense of bringing it all together.
The United States Army has established a mission need to leverage the most advanced techniques in health, sports medicine, nutrition, and fitness to increase wellness and optimize the physical performance of its soldiers. 17% of active duty component soldiers and 25% of Reserve and National Guard soldiers are obese by BMI standards. They are statistically more likely to experience injury and becoming medically non-available. Musculoskeletal injuries affects 55% of soldiers annually, which equates to 10 million limited duty days. 7% of Army recruits are injured before the end of basic training, and an additional 6% do not finish their first tour of duty. The annual financial costs are staggering at $530 million per year. This also represents significant loss in mission capability. The Warrior Performance Platform, WP2, was designed for professional and NCAA athletic sports environments and has been adapted for the DoD environments by both the Navy and the Air Force. WP2 platform has been used for many years in commercial settings and leverages innovative training, education, staffing, facility, and athlete monitoring to improve physical readiness and deployability. WP2 is mission ready to be a single point of management for the Holistic Health and Fitness Initiative, helping build an adaptable and resilient force capable of accomplishing the mission in garrison, training, and deployed environments. The The platform is a significant force multiplier for the H2F initiative, improving communication and routing intervention alerts, increasing the efficiency of support staff. Starting upon arrival at basic training, use the WP2 technology to support the entire life cycle of the soldier, no matter the unit assignment or compo. WP2 supports the Army's need to have an accessible training and monitoring program to manage individual and collective physical and mental training. Empower commanders, leaders, and practitioners, and deliver the right information to the right decision maker. In addition to physical training, body weight, hydration, nutrition, and subjective assessment can easily be collected during basic training as a soldier endures a massive change in daily athletic load and stress. Real-time alerts can flag risk indicators for injuries that cause separation from the Army. Create a fitness profile on the soldier, which will follow them from their first duty assignment and throughout their career. The command, monitoring, and reporting system is customizable across all three compos, providing both coaching and monitoring capabilities in active duty scenarios and remote scenarios in the Guard and Reserve. The WP2 has been hardened by years of use and addresses the challenges of the holistic health and fitness of athletes and warfighters. It gives Army leadership the information they need to evaluate and optimize fitness, performance, and readiness of their soldiers. Warrior Performance Platform: strength, readiness, and performance. Learn more today at coachmeplus.com/WP2.
So that shows just the art of the possible in DoD. Everything you saw there is what's happening now. And I'm going to go back to everything you see there is what's happening now. That's an Army specific video. Right now we are deploying this as part of the Army Applications Lab H2F Management System competition. The TIAG Coach Me Plus team is one of 3 companies that has been selected as a finalist by Army Applications Lab. We are doing 3 consecutive 8-week field studies with soldiers, battalion level deployments with a training unit in Fort Sam Houston, with an operational unit with the 82nd Airborne at Fort Bragg, and with a military intelligence unit composed of active guard and reserve at Fort Gordon. What I want to articulate to this group is that we are on a pathway in Navy, Air Force, Army, where the product to support human performance is mature, has been embraced, and has leadership visibility on the value proposition for the existing platform, the existing technology. What we see the opportunity with this organization is to take the data that's already there and the additional data that can be gathered and do more with it using the artificial intelligence tools that your team will have visibility on, that can be integrated so that the data can be exported, analyzed, re-imported, and routed appropriately. Potentially additional development into the actual software to add some of that inherent. Again, there are existing algorithms within the WP2 platform. And we take pride in the fact that we call them white box algorithms. We want to have explainable AI so that when that end user receives a recommendation, they can trace the logic on, well, why did we get that, so that we know what we're doing and why. But there's tremendous opportunity with the tools that are in development with other products that frankly we don't have any awareness of, that the OSD team does, that the Navy team does, that can be integrated to take the data and the operational capability that is going to be delivered to the services through this product and take it to that next level, make it more useful, make it more focused for the commanders and the SMEs, make it more useful for that end user and sailor, because when they see value, they're more likely to use the product. So Krista, that concludes what I have to present. I'm going to finish on this slide right here. It's got my contact information. It's got Kevin's contact information from Coach Me Plus. Again, I apologize that Kevin couldn't join me today. But you can also see some of the URLs for some of the other videos we have posted showing commercial and DoD use cases. So with that, Krista, I'm going to stop sharing. I think I'm right at about time.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Steve, for your presentation today. This is again Steve from TIAG. This will conclude our track for the Warfighter Health today for the Tradewin Member Showcase Navy Edition Overflow. part 1. If you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to send an email to ecosystem@tradewinai.com, and we will make sure that we pass that as well off to Steve so that he can answer you directly. And these presentations will be displayed for watching later as well.
Krista,
anyway,
thank you. Krista, thank you for
absolutely.
coordinating, and thank you for to those in attendance for watching this today.
Thank you, Steve. You guys have a wonderful day.
All righty.
Bye-bye.